Crittenden County Basketball would like to thank these fine sponsors: Mark Williams, Whitetail Properties, re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney, Farmers Bank and Trust, Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance, First United Bank in Marion, elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney, Colby Davis and West Kentucky Launchpad, Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land, Lone Star Construction, Ellington Detailing, Roy Crane's Tire and Equipment Rental, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Jared Champion at JRC Kennels, Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness, Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors, H&R Block of Marion, and Stark's Sports Training.
Welcome back, Rocket Nation, for another week. I'm your host, Trace Darrington, and I'm here with Coach Kenny Jackson. Kenny, I want to thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, we have such a young group, even when you look on the girls' side of basketball, and especially this boys' team. And, it's a different kind of experience as a coach that you get to go through having such a young core of guys. So tell me what it's been like having such a young group of guys and how you have grew, as a coach with such a, young but energetic and athletic group of boys.
When I first took the job, these guys seemed like they bought in quickly. Mm-hmm. And, they showed up for early practices and, in the spring of last year and they didn't have to. But they showed up. So it made it easy for me to go ahead and just, go in all hands on deck and just start practicing and working hard. And it was because of them that inspired me to just, go all out from the beginning.
Yeah. Now, I see like a lot of these kids and they have so much skill to build off of. Like you look at guys like Roan, he's such a good driver. You look at Dayberry, he can shoot the ball and all that kind of stuff. So how do you mesh all those together in helping them build as basketball players to help one another and become a winning team?
Well, we run a motion offense.
Yeah.
So it's no position is secured by any player. It's the point guard will be playing the post at one point in time in the motion, and they enjoy that. They enjoy being all over the court. They just don't like one role. They like to be more than one role player, and that's what they like, and that's what I like, and we're going to continue to put that in our in our offense and roll with it.
Mm-hmm. So moving forward now, you do have a good amount of kids that basketball is really their only sport. And so for you, I feel like it's got to be kind of nice that that's something that you get to always talk to them about without worrying like, oh, is their mind too far into football or baseball or, whatever it may be. It's like it's basketball, and these kids want to get better. So how do you transition into the summer with these kids to really, this is the time where it's, this is their growth period. How is it that you take the summer on for these boys?
We're going to continue to have workouts twice a week. Like I said on our last show, I'm going to try to get some guys involved into personal camps.
Yes.
We're going to go to some team camps and play in some scrimmages and, and communicate with them throughout the off season. But by no means do I encourage them to play more than one sport, whether it's baseball and basketball or football and basketball. I encourage that, but if they're available for only basketball, then we're gonna keep working to
100%.
To get them better.
Yeah. Now, speaking on your team, I want to give these guys a shout out because it's nearing the end of their time in a basketball jersey that says Crittenden on the front. And those two guys being Michael Counts and Braden Poindexter. So I wanted you to just talk about them and what they've meant this year with their roles on the team.
Well, Michael Counts, he come in first year ever playing, didn't understand the game. He understood that, hey, I'm gonna be a team player, and I've got to have my team's back, and really didn't want to shoot. He really had no desire to shoot the ball early on, and then he got that one game where he scored. He hit that three, and it inspired him, and the team was very inspired, and I just think him scoring made his season. So, and then it made his teammates. It just gives them all the thrills in the world. But then there's Pointy. Pointy's very competitive. He's hardworking. He expects himself to do good. He expects great outcomes. With his physique and agility. But he's just a great athlete and a great person, and his expectations are just for himself are high.
Yeah.
And I just love that about him, and he's going to work until either he fouls out or he's going to work until the final whistle, and I like that about Pointy.
Absolutely. Now, a little bit different today in the sense of we've got 3 of your guys on the show, not just 2, not just 1, but we got 3, and they are very key for you moving forward and developing as a basketball program. And so the first one I want to ask you about is Brady Dayberry, and I see him as a guy that can really score a lot, but sometimes when it's not his night, he doesn't want to force much into trying to turn it into his night, and that's just what I'm maybe kind of seeing from the outside. Look at the box score, watch him play a little bit, but I want you to tell me about him and what you see him becoming into.
I told you early on in one of our early shows, you never know which Brady you're going to get.
100%.
So, he shows up some games, like I said, we had a pep talk. We had a sit down talk, and I just explained to him, Brady, you're capable of being the leading scorer, possibly in the district if you put your mind to it and want to play. And he said, okay, coach. He just stepped up and said, okay, coach. Mm-hmm. The same night, I think he put up 18, 17, 18, 11 steals. He played hard. Yeah. So if I have to have a heart-to-heart talk with him every game, that's what I'll do, just to remind him, hey, you're better than what you're showing. And as far as, up and coming, he's going to be a senior next year. He's a junior now, going to be a senior. If he works hard in the summer and just works on follow through and, his jump shot, his footwork, man, he has no limits. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, next year could be one of the top players in the district.
Yeah. And a guy, when you say no limits, I really think of Roan Top as like one of those guys because he has a great frame. He has a great knack for basketball. He moves around very well, and I've just playing pickup with him. I do enjoy the way he plays the game, and I love how he wants to work on the little parts, of each aspect of basketball. And I want to just, I just want you to tell me like what else you're seeing and, how big he's going to be going forward.
Right. Roan, being a freshman, being young, coming in, his confidence level is it's through the roof.
It is.
He attacks the baseline better than anybody in the district. He just attacks, and he's got the confidence. Shot doesn't always fall, but I keep telling him, hey, keep shooting. Keep shooting the ball, keep attacking the baseline, do what you do. And he works on that in practice. I'm sure he works on it at home. He carries the team a lot of games. This last game, he come in, played the JV game before, and led in scoring in the JV game. Come in the varsity game and was a, you don't see very many freshman leaders, but he has the confidence to come in and lead, and work against the toughest players, opponents, mm-hmm. And that's just what I see in Roan. He's going to keep working hard, and he will be the best player on the court at all times. He will work to be the best.
Mm-hmm. Do you see him trying to instill some of that confidence in some of these other guys?
Yeah, I think just the way his body language.
Yeah,
he doesn't really show a whole lot of body language when he misses a shot or something like that. But there was one time, and I have to share it with you because I call him out on it all the time. I have to share it with the guys here. But he come off the court one time, and he was like, I suck. I'm going to quit this game. So I just, act like I didn't hear it. Just kind of went on coaching, and it was towards the end of the game, and we went to the locker room, and the next day in practice, I said, Ron, I just want you, and in front of, the squad in the locker room. Yeah. I said, Ron, by the way, you do not suck, and please do not quit. You're too good to quit. Please don't do that. And I said, oh, by the way, I heard you coming off the court. You're too good at that. Be more confident. Yeah. And he just smiled like he's got that big smile that he has, and then after the past few games, he's turned it up, and just the confidence and work ethic that he has is beyond any freshman that I can think of.
Yeah. And a guy, speaking of freshmen, a kid that's going to be a freshman, but I feel like he already plays like a freshman, even though he's just in 8th grade. Now, some people might think, it's just 8th grade to freshman, but that is a big jump to go from playing middle school ball to high school ball. And that's Cash Myers. And tell me how Cash has made that big adjustment into this later part of the season with y'all.
Cash is a facilitator. He's I've told you this early too, but he makes things happen. He sees the court like no one else sees it. Yeah. He sees open lanes, and he sees even on defense. He sees where he's out there directing traffic, trying to get guys to close out here, or take a step back and protect the block. He sees things that not all 8th graders would see, and he's a special player. Yeah. A couple more years, I'd say, and get a little maturity on him, and he's going to be fine. Yeah, very fine.
Yeah. So, Coach, I want to thank you for being on here. I want to thank you for taking all the time you have throughout the year to come and talk to me, talk to everybody, Coach. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're just going to continue to watch over y'all during the summer, and then watch these boys when they come back and see all the improvements they've made. Coach, I want to thank you. And Rocket Nation, we'll be right back after a short break.
Go Rockets.
Lady Rockets and Rockets want to thank the following businesses for supporting digital basketball content this season.
Mark Williams and Whitetail Properties.
Re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney.
Farmers Bank and Trust.
Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling.
Livingston Hospital.
H&H Home and Hardware.
Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance.
First United Bank in Marion.
Elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney.
Colby Davis in West Kentucky Launchpad.
Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land.
Lone Star Construction.
Ellington Detailing.
Roy Crane Tire and Equipment Rental.
Johnson's Furniture and Appliance.
Jared Champion at JRC Kennels.
Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness.
Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors.
R Block Marion, Kentucky. And Stark's Sports Training.
Welcome back, Rocket Nation. I got the boys here with me today. Gentlemen, it's nice to have y'all. I've got Cash, Roan, and Brady. Now, guys, we're not going to dwell too much on the past. We got to look towards the future now. Of course, y'all got another game coming up, and then we've got, summer ball and all that kind of good things. So first off, I want to ask you throughout this season, and I'll start with you. With you being, coming from middle school into high school, I want you to tell me what you really think that you've worked on the best making that transition.
I think I've worked on, to begin the season, I couldn't handle pressure near as much, but I've gotten better throughout the season handling the pressure.
Ron, we've already kind of talked before a little bit, but even in those couple of weeks, how do you think that your basketball has gotten better just in that short span?
I think my mid-range shot has improved, driving to the basket. That's about it.
Brady, I'm looking at the numbers a little bit, and like 2-3 games ago, you really had a really good game. It was like 18 points around there. So clearly something is clicking for you. What do you think that is?
I just think it was the pep talk Coach gave me right before the game.
Really?
That's what I think it was.
Was it kind of like, real loud and energetic, or was it just like, hey, man, you've got to do this, this, and this, and then you'll be all right?
It was just like that.
Just really calm? Now, would you prefer that, or would you rather him get up in your grill?
Definitely calm.
Definitely calm. I understand that. Now, as we understand, y'all are not I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all are not football players, right? Y'all are just pretty strictly basketball. Okay, so now it's like head is only in basketball during the summer. So what will y'all's summer look like, Brady? We'll start with you being a little bit older.
Well, first, I would say I'm definitely going to be playing summer ball. And then, right now, after basketball, I go straight into baseball. So right after that, then I want to be in the gym.
What about you, bro?
I think I'm going to be playing AAU a little bit, lifting, just like working to get better in the game all around.
Now, you kind of alluded to it, and we've kind of talked about it before. Your getting to the basket is one thing that I think that you're really good at, just playing pickup with you. Then you talked about, hey, my mid-range got better. Do you think you will, in the beginning of the summer, work on the longer range stuff, or do you want to really perfect the short game, the inside stuff, the mid-range, before you make the three ball start to go down and that kind of
Probably
stuff?
short game.
Probably short game, yeah. What about you? What's your summer?
I'm definitely going to be in the weight room and just working on my shot. My shot's not been quite there recently, and I'm definitely going to be working on that during the summer.
Yeah. Now, in 8th grade, I watch you, and you're getting the first step on a lot of guys. And I understand in high school it's going to be a little bit different. But you, as an 8th grader, you come in mid-season, come into high school. What does that feel like? I've had the opportunity to play with some guys who came up really young into the high school getting varsity minutes. So what is that like for you?
It's really hard coming up from, like, a lot of my moves in the first few games I tried to do. I'll turn the ball over, throw passes that won't work in high school but would work in middle school. And just, it's definitely a lot. And opponents are way stronger and harder to drive by.
Yeah. Now, this is catered to all y'all because y'all are young guys, which is a really good thing. But how does it feel being a young guy, but being the core, of a, varsity basketball team, Brady?
Well, I feel like we definitely are going to be able to improve as we just grow older, and I feel like we're going to do better things next year.
Well, you wrong.
I forgot the question.
You're good. Well, that's the thing. Being a young guy, y'all aren't supposed to have the load of carrying basketball teams. Usually it's your senior groups, but y'all don't have that luxury. But at the same time, it can be a luxury that you get the pressure early, because then as you grow older, you just get better. So how do you think that you have handled being a young guy and being a core team guy?
I think I've handled it all right. I mean, it's helped learning from like older guys how to like, I don't know, go. Gosh dang it.
You go, baby. You go, brother. Cash, what about you? You are, it's not like you're jumping from a sophomore to a junior. I think it is such a big deal to talk about you being an 8th grader. Then you're just going to be a freshman. You're still going to play high-level minute ball. So, how do you think you will help incorporate this team next year?
I think over the summer I'm going to be working on ball handling and looking at where my turnovers are mainly coming from and trying to fix that next year and have my turnovers go down.
Now, our guy, two of y'all's guys are about to go. That were, I think really big morale guys in the sense of Poindexter and Counts. Like, I look at Counts and like y'all, that's like y'all's fun guy. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong or am I right?
You're right.
Yeah. And then you got Poindexter, who's also a fun guy, but he's a starter. He's out there working. Tell me about, just from y'all, tell me about those guys and what they meant to, be able to play with them this year.
Well, Michael, whenever he's out there, it's just I'm having fun watching him play.
Absolutely.
And then Braden, just a big part of the team. Help me, like, I'll be in the corner, he finds me when I'm in the corner, and he's getting into the basket.
Yeah. What about you?
I've definitely learned a lot from Braden. He's been a big help on the team, rebounding, scoring. And Mike, whenever he scores, it's like the best time in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Braden always helped us. He's physical, brings the energy, and always helping us out. And Mike was a good morale booster, as you said, and team player.
Don't want to go so much just talking about straight up just the game. I want to take a little bit more into y'all's personal side. What was y'all's favorite memory, like, from this season? Maybe not even just as a team. Maybe it was a one-on-one thing. And I'm just using an example. Y'all too. Say y'all had a moment that, like, you was like, man, that was awesome. But what is it that's something for y'all that sticks out?
Mine was probably when Coach Bryant threw me a lob and I finally threw a dunk down.
Nice.
That was probably my favorite.
So would you say he's pretty good at that, or was that just a one-time?
Well, right now it's been a one-time
So,
thing.
yeah, that's all right. That's all right. What about you, Ron?
Probably getting that first win. It was nice.
What about you, Cash?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
That first win, beating Heritage, and especially by winning by 20.
Yeah, 100%. So, now let's kind of go into y'all's personal, minds a little bit. And I want to know, Cash, we'll start with you. Who is like your favorite player that you watch, whether if it was old tapes, maybe it's a guy in the league now, maybe it's just some dude in college. I want you to really, be you with this answer, and you just tell me who's your favorite.
My favorite player growing up's always been Steph Curry. Still is.
Do you try to model anything after him?
Not really, but I just like watching him
You just
play.
love enjoying. Yeah, you just love his ball game. What about you, Ron?
My favorite player is SGA.
Now, do you think you'll, turn into SGA a little bit as you get older?
No.
No, you just gonna try though.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. What about you, Brady?
Mine was probably a jaw because whenever I was little, I was definitely trying to recreate his dunks on him.
Of course. Now, do you want him to stay in Memphis? Or you want him to go somewhere else?
I don't know.
You just want to watch him play ball. Absolutely. So we kind of talked about this off camera, and I wanted y'all to have some freedom with this and just have fun with it. Now, inside the locker room, we hear things, we hear guys talk. On the court, you hear guys talk, but as people in the stands, we don't hear everything, we don't see everything, but y'all are hearing everything. So who is the worst trash talker that y'all got on your team?
Gotta be Marty.
Gotta be Marty. Okay. Now, is Marty one of them guys that it's just kind of like a drive-by trash talk, or is it just he's in a guy's face but he's just not saying the right things at all?
Exactly.
Exactly that. Okay.
When he blocks someone, his little flex.
Yeah. Just not there. I hear that. Now, this is kind of something, Roan, you gave me a great answer, and I'm going to go to you last just because I thought it was really funny. But I found this earlier. Shout out to my secretary, ChatGPT. She's been very good to me this basketball season. But when it comes to these fun questions, I love to get, not just the normal ones we hear that NBA players, college players get asked. But if there was a game-winning shot and y'all missed it, what do you think your excuse will be, Brady?
He got fouled.
You got fouled? Even though, watch out, you're acting like it, ain't you?
That was not me.
What about you?
I was going to say the same thing as Brady. They fouled me. Ref didn't call it.
Now, Rome, what do you think your excuse would be?
The wind.
The
It was
wind.
blowing too
Just
hard.
wind on that wind like crazy. Yeah, awesome. Well, guys, we're going to be looking forward to keeping up with y'all over the summer and then into this next year, seeing how much y'all grow. I want to thank y'all for being here. Y'all did a really good job. So, man, I want y'all, either one of y'all, just take a second and just, say what you want to Rocket Nation. Thank them or whatever for this season.
Thank you, Rocket Nation.
Hey, perfect. That's it. So, guys, thank y'all, and thank y'all, Rocket Nation. We'll be back next week.
Crittenden County Basketball would like to thank these fine sponsors: Mark Williams, Whitetail Properties, re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney, Farmers Bank and Trust, Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance, First United Bank in Marion, elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney, Colby Davis and West Kentucky Launchpad, Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land, Lone Star Construction, Ellington Detailing, Roy Crane's Tire and Equipment Rental, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Jared Champion at JRC Kennels, Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness, Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors, H&R Block of Marion, and Stark's Sports Training.